And welcome back to another episode of the Swandingo Files with a dango HO baby. Today I have a special guest, Stephen O'Donnell, fellow veteran, and he's got some pretty interesting stories he can probably tell us today. So I'd like to welcome Stephen. How's it going today?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good. Just enjoying nice Texas weather and getting ready to jump in my pool hopefully here in a few days. So yeah, I know you're up in Wisconsin, so you can keep that cold weather up there, please.
Yeah, we're about to get another. Mother Nature's not done with us just yet. She's about to hit us again. So yeah,
Well, yeah, keep that cold up there. I know someplace will snow, and I'll take my next Texas 80-degree weather down here. So, but today we're going to discuss why you joined your military service, why you're in. I know you were EOD, so of course you probably got some weird stuff to talk about with that, and also your transition period out. So, if you want to take it away, why did you join the military?
coming out of high school back in 1991, didn't have a lot of options because I didn't apply myself. So early on in my junior year, I met a recruiter and John. He was a staff sergeant at the time. John Nunley, still friends with him today. He got me to convince me to join the Marine Corps. Out of a graduating class of 140, there were 10 of us that went in the Marine Corps that year. So not bad for him.
No, that's
So,
not too bad, I guess. What job did you get in the Marines?
so I was going in as a grunt, but when I finished basic, and then went to at the time they had Marine combat training, which was a month, um, and that during that time my arches started breaking down. They were talking about med boarding me. I called John and I said, I haven't even. I mean, I've been a Marine for less than a month, and because you're still a recruit even during boot camp, you don't get Marine until you graduate, and then. Um, So I called him up, and my AC, or not the AC, my ASVAB scores were good enough so that he helped me get reclassed. So I went to ground support equipment on the air wing side, and then from there I went to more specialized training in the cryogenics arena for liquid oxygen, liquid nitrogen, and then gaseous forms of both for the avionics and other aspects of the air wing side.
I honestly didn't know that was a job, but
Oh yeah,
that's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they use a lot of those components or those types of elements to in cooling systems for for avionics and all sorts of different things. So
Cool. So how long did you stay in the Marines then?
joined 91, came off active duty 96. My last 2 years in or a year and a half in, I was a marksmanship instructor as well. So another hat that I wore, type of thing.
Got it.
So
But I know you got out, and I know you rejoined the Army. Was it like '99 when you joined? That time period between '96 and '99. What did you do in that time frame?
um, well, I got out for the wrong reasons, but I did some construction projects. I went to college at Western Illinois University. I definitely played too much rugby and drank too much beer that year. So after that debacle, I decided to join the military again. And this time I went to the Army, took the ASVAB over again, scored higher. They tried to give me the normal five, armor, infantry, artillery, combat engineer, yada yada yada. So the next job they offered was UAV mechanic and pilot, and then obviously the program was very infantile at that stage because 9/11 hadn't happened. We weren't overseas yet. So and the one after that was explosive ordnance disposal, military bomb squad, and I volunteered for that.
That's so you volunteered for that. How long is the school for EOD? I forgot. It's been a while.
Um, it just depends on like how many times. So you're authorized two roles, meaning that you fail a division within the school, and they'll and depending on your academic uh, backtrack record, um, they'll put you back into a class to see if you can make it through. Now, the interesting part when I joined the Army, they sent me to Fort Jackson for 12. I was there only for 12 days for processing of paperwork and getting uniforms, and then um, they sent me to Redstone Arsenal or Huntsville, Alabama, basically for the at the time it was a 55 Bravo, and that's the ammunition supply point BB stackers, the bullet counters. So I got there on Labor Day weekend, and I didn't check in until after that weekend with the schoolhouse, and they're like, "Yeah, you're AWOL. You're supposed to be at Eglin Air Force Base." So, I'm great way to start your second career. I start out, being AWOL the first long weekend we've got. So anyway, they amended the orders and then finally sent me to Eglin. When I got there, the Marine Corps already had a clearance on me. The Army started one, so I sat there for 6 months waiting for them to figure that out. So I think it's roughly about a 9-month school if you do it. If you can get through it. I finally graduated February of 2001, and then was stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia. That was my first unit by, I want to say, April, because I had to go up to Huntsville for some Army specific training for EOD. And then went to Fort Benning, and then 9/11 happened, and then we got locked down that whole first year right after 9/11, and then we finally first deployed to Baghdad in. We arrived September 9th, 2003, 2003. So,
Where were you at in Baghdad in 2003? Like, I
so
know it's a big city, so
yeah. Well, so Third ID came over, and there were 3 EOD companies in Baghdad at the time. They'd been in actual Baghdad for 3 months. They'd been in Kuwait, they came over the berm, and then they finally made their way up to Baghdad. And I think they'd been occupying Baghdad for about 3 months when we got there. Our unit took over for 3 other units. We had 6 organic teams, and then they gave us 2 teams that were TCS, Army TCS teams to us, and then 2 Navy teams. So we had 10 teams running in 5 sectors of Baghdad. I specifically was up in the Northwest, living out of the Martyrs Monument, dealing with, what the hell's the name of that town up there? It'll come to me. My point is that, the embassy, the embassy that had been bombed was just down the street on Pluto, and it was just a crazy time.
yeah, no, I know I was there in 2003, 4, and that's why I was kind of asking. I was like, man, I wonder if I ran into you before at one point because I was 270th Armor out of Abu Ghraib and Amarillo, right next to where Camp Victory eventually got put up. Before it got put up, and that's why I was kind of wondering because we had EOD guys occasionally attached to us, and I know some of the bigger missions we'd have some EOD attached to us. So that's why I was kind of wondering. It's like, man, I wonder if I ran into you before.
So September 9th through April, we only did 6 months missions back then. Technically in country for about 7 months. So we may have. I was a buck sergeant back then. My team leader was a guy, Danny, and he was a staff sergeant. And man, we were. The interesting thing about it is like our unit at Fort Benning, we would run roughly 300 missions a year. Our team ran 300 missions in Baghdad. So the whole company ran 2,469 incidents in 6 months.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, we were busy.
Yeah, it just because I was a scout, a cavalry scout, so we'd go out and cordon off areas, call it EOD on all the time, and or any bombs or anything. That's if they didn't blow up on us first. But yeah, the one of the first big IEDs we actually had the Discovery Channel with us doing a documentary on us, and they initially did a thing with the Marines, and their last day in country, we got blown up, and yeah, they left country right after that. I think it scared them a little bit too much. It was like, if I remember, it was a 155 round.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, nope, we're out of here. And I was brand new private. I was E nothing. So
yeah,
fresh out of OSET training. So it was like, I had no idea what the hell. There was no training for that kind of stuff, nothing yet at that point. So
yeah, a lot of exploring and learning.
Exploring.
Yep.
Yeah, exploring the kind of the wrong ways and get blown up all the time. So
lessons learned, man. Lessons learned.
That's the only thing I hated about Iraq was just IEDs. I couldn't hate that shit. But so how many times did you deploy as EOD?
So on active duty, I went over twice, 03, 04 for Iraq, and then 05, where I was actually a team leader in 05, and I was up in Kalat, which is northeast of Kandahar. I was with 2nd of the 503rd from 173rd, the Vincenza, Italy boys. So, and then after that, I went to a specialized nuke unit in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I got out shortly after that. And then in 08, on a contract, I went over with with a soft base unit, basically. We comprised all these different MOSs. Guys that have gotten off active duty, they weren't active duty anymore. We brought in all these different specialized job skill sets. We created what was called the Fox team, the field exploitation team. So we were showing Big Army by building up target packages that we could in real time take out bomb maker cells. So that's what we were doing in 08 in Baghdad. And then I was with SOTF West in Afghanistan in 10, 11, and 12. So.
And it seems like we kind of went in a lot of the same places because I was also in Afghanistan 10, 11. So
It's a small. Where were we at then?
Kunar province, all the way up north in the Hindu Pass, where Cap Keating was overrun, OP Bari Alai was overrun, Battle for Wanat, all that fun stuff. So right next to the Pakistan border. So
yeah, I got you.
Yeah, fun times.
Yep. 05 was Kalat, and then it was called the conventional side was called Camp Stone out west, northwest. We were 70 clicks from the Iranian border.
Jeez.
So yeah, so I was at SOTF West there.
So how so you got out, what year did you end up getting out of the Army?
07.
And what, I mean, why did you end up getting out? I mean, why didn't you try to stay in, make a longer career?
I had gotten myself into some trouble, and then I had a zealous first sergeant that was trying to make an example of me. And just the inner workings of all that nonsense really kind of just ticked me off. So I told him I quit because I was in an alcohol treatment program, and I told him I quit, and then that forced them to discharge me. And so we were at an Air Force base, and then we had to go down to Fort Bliss to actually do the out processing. He actually took me down there. The first sergeant took me down there and tried to get me an other than honorable discharge or a BCD, and they couldn't do it because of the awards that I'd had in the last 3 years. They had to give me an honorable. So looking back at it, I probably just should have stuck it out and finished my 20, but things are different. You know, back then I was, the politics was driving me nuts. And I've done so many different things since I got off active duty that it's been interesting. It's been an interesting existence. You know, I did a war crimes case, testified in a war crimes case for the Kosovo-Bosnian War back in 2009. I worked for government contracting companies, you know, like that got me to Baghdad in 08, and then also got me to SOTF West in 10, 11, and 12. I've taught for so many other companies out there in homemade explosives, like mixing courses. I've done tactical. I've taught the tactical side of post-blast analysis. You know, it's been an interesting existence. I'll just say that, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So
yeah, it sounds like you've had quite an interesting ride after you transitioned out. So
yeah,
did you jump right into doing all that, or did you have a period there after you got out, or how'd you get into what you're doing?
So I was getting married as I left the military. I went straight to the UXO industry, did two UXO jobs. One was a chemical cleanup job. I think it was in Mississippi. And then I got hired on by that company to go to Baghdad for that mission. That was 6 months over there. We had our son, and then I did the war crimes case, and then I started working for other government contracting companies. So I won't say the transition was easy. As the sole proprietor for, you know, or the one that was working for the family, because she was still active duty at the time, and then getting med boarded out for her back. So I don't know. It was unique. A lot of struggles. You know, my PTSD almost got me almost 2 years ago. It almost killed me 2 years ago, and going through mental health and going through the therapy while COVID was going on. So it was all like, you know, Zoom calls like this and stuff with the therapist, and they sent me the paperwork, and I'm doing all that, whatever. So, but going through all that has really changed my life. I've learned that because through the therapy, I learned that I've been suffering from PTSD for like 25 years, and then the saturation point that has been always haunting me was my first combat tour, at 30 years of age, my first combat tour in Iraq. So those post-blast analysis, just nothing prepared me for all the devastation and the death. So
Yeah, that's so let's backtrack a little bit. Your PTSD, I mean, how bad did it truly get?
I was at my dad's. I'd lost everything. I was sitting at my dad's in the spare bedroom on the bed. I had the gun next to me, and I made a phone call, and thank God she answered.
And how did you, what did you do first for treatment after after that incident, or who'd you reach out to?
Well, so I went to the VA, and I signed myself up for a substance abuse assessment and also a mental health assessment. And when I went to the substance abuse counselors, they're like, "You don't really have a substance abuse issue. Your PTSD is on fucking steroids, is what it is." So, which is forcing you to self-medicate, that type of thing. So, with that being said, with the mental health assessment was done I think that was done in the beginning of July, and by the end of the month, I was in treatment. So,
And I'm taking it you don't drink or do anything now?
oh no, I took I stopped drinking through the therapy. I do drink now, but I'm not drinking any pain away. It's a social activity. So, I mean, I like the taste of whiskey. So, but I'm Irish, for God's sakes. So it's been, it's been a road. I've learned a lot. My PTSD destroyed the relationship I was in, but she was the one that answered the phone call. And through my therapy, I've learned to be happy for her because she's moved on, to be happy for her happiness because she's in a great relationship. Um, I've kind of rekindled my faith, working on that, and it's been easier with working on both of them. Hold on, I'm putting the window up because I think it's getting more windy. Working through therapy, but then also kind of diving back into my faith. It helped me kind of even balance on both sides. I learned to accept the things that I could, ask for help with the things that I couldn't, and obviously count all the blessings that have popped up. I started in therapy. She joined me in a business venture with two other friends of mine, and we started Master Blaster Coffee. So, I'm ecstatic. I got that going. I've got another consulting firm going, and then I'm working this project here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and what are you doing up there in Wisconsin?
So the project is we're coming in, and the surveyors went out and they put utility corridor lanes out there on the range. We're clearing those corridors up to a depth of 6 feet. We went out there, we're surveying, it's the UXO side of surveying equipment, which means we were looking for anomalies that were in the ground. We reacquire those targets that have been identified through geosplat, and then we dig them up to find out, we go intrusive and dig them up to find out what we've got. A lot of it's like comm wire, barbed wire, bullets, stuff of that nature. But we got to clean these corridors out. So that way, at the end of our project, the construction companies can come in behind us, lay out those, whatever they got to do for those utilities. They're basically revitalizing the range, changing up the range to provide a different type of a training environment.
Got it. And I just realized you said you also have Master Blaster Coffee, and it's like, now I know why you call it Master Blaster Coffee. So
yeah. Our so there's 3 different badges, bomb squad badges in the military for EOD, and you got the basic badge, which we call the slick badge. You got the senior badge, which has just the star on the bomb, and then the Master Blaster badge has the star above with the wreath and the star on the bomb, and it's a Navy run school, so the badge is called the Crab, the EOD Crab. So
That's funny. It's kind of funny how you name your coffee master blaster EOD and all that stuff. So I was kind of wondering where you got the name for it. Now I know. So I like it.
thanks.
It's a good name.
One of my other partners is one of my students from hell like 10 years ago, and we've just been friends ever since. Josh and Christina actually they blamed me for introducing them, and then they got married and got two little great ones. So I'm Uncle Buck, and the nephews. Their kids, their boys are my nephews. So so they joined the company with me, and then Joanna, who I was in the relationship with, and then she was there for me with my PTSD therapy. She's in the company as well. So, but they made me the milk carton guy for the face of the company. So they're all like behind the scenes, and I'm trying to do as much heavy lifting as I can. So
Got it. So out of everything you've done in the military, is there like one thing that stands out the most between the Marines and the Army, and of course your EOD? So is there anything that really stands out?
yeah, I'm all the blessings and all the different job opportunities and all the really fun and crazy things that I've been able to do since I got off active duty is all because of EOD, and I'm ecstatic about it. It really has developed into quite a unique living career, existence, if you will. I'm turning 50 in September, so I didn't think I was going to make it this far, let alone enjoy all the things that I've been able to do, all the unique experiences that I've had. So
You're about to turn 50. Damn, I thought you were about to turn 60. Just kidding.
and I get that a lot, and I appreciate
No,
that.
I'm kidding. But but it seems like you had a good career. It seems like you're doing quite a bit of stuff, and I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that you overcame your PTSD for the most part. Are you still going through treatment today, or?
So I do like a Christian Bible study every Thursday. We do it through Zoom because there's so many of us from different parts of the United States. Um, and then I the option's there for me to go to therapy, but I also have very good friends in my network. One of the biggest accomplishments I think through therapy is that I don't I don't internalize it or allow it to fester inside me anymore. I openly talk about it. I've been on other podcasts. Um, I did one with the EOD Warrior Foundation. We as an EOD small business, a for-profit small business with the coffee company. We tried to give back to the community, and we do that a lot through the EOD Warrior Foundation at the moment. And we really enjoy that relationship with them. So um, talking about it's a hell of a lot easier. Some people are just like, I had no idea. And I have a story to share. Um, I've been bringing awareness by doing push-ups, 22 push-ups a day. It's actually 23 because I got to give one up to the Marine Corps. Chesty Puller needs his push-up. So I do 23 push-ups a day. I've been doing it for 421 days. Today will be 422. And I share it on my social media, my Facebook page, and then I push it to other groups. I have a friend of mine who's a former TAC ops officer from the ATF. John and I've been friends, or Todd and I've been friends for a long time, and we started an initiative on Facebook called Diffusing 22 Plus. And what we're trying to do is bring awareness to the suicide rates on the military side of the house, and then the flip side of that coin is the first responders. Him being the representative of that dynamic, and I represent the military, and we're getting some traction. It's a slow moving thing. We'd eventually like to make it a nonprofit if we can get enough traction moving down that direction. So we'll see how it goes.
It's good to hear. So how can people get a hold of you or find you?
I'm going to my page for Facebook. My private account is going to go public here soon because I'm almost at that 5,000 threshold, and in order to continue to reach new people or for people to find me easily, I need to make it public. I'm on there. I'm on LinkedIn. The coffee is I'm on Instagram. The coffee is on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and also Twitter. So you know, you can search for me, Stephen O'Donnell, in Facebook. It's a PH, not a V. And my current profile picture is I'm wearing a green shirt. I got long ass hair from when I was in Afghanistan in 2010. And my backdrop is me in the bomb suit walking down to a device in 2005.
Got it. Well, it's nice for you to come on today. And yeah, I feel your pain, Stephen, with the PH.
Yeah.
Same thing over here. I hate it.
Yeah.
Everybody's always like, Stephen? It's like, no, stop calling me that. But well, nice. It was nice of you to come on today. But this wraps up this episode of the Swandingo Files with Master Blaster Stephen. And y'all have a good day now. See you on the next episode.
Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.